without knowing the contribution of the 7th house nakshatra lord, we won't be able to know what is the deeper foundational level contribution and the effect of the 7th house sign lord, and what will emanate out of your partnerships, your relationship, and the gains that you make from them.
Please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my latest video has come. And to learn more and to find a video relevant to you, please do check out my videos list.
Hello, namaskar and adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan. Once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. We have been doing this series of the 7th house lord in different houses. However, we started a series on the request of few of you that I should also do the placement of the 7th house nakshatra lord in different houses. So last week we have already done a video on what it means, what at a foundational level the 7th house nakshatra lord's dignity as placement means. And in that video I had said that I will come out with the second video which we are doing today on the actual placement of the 7th house nakshatra lord in different houses. But without seeing that video, what it means, how it should be seen, you will not be understand this video holistically. So please do watch that video. I will give you the link of that video in the description box in the comment section below. So let's get started with the placement of the 7th house nakshatra lord in different houses. So here it works on 4 levels. In level 1, here the 7th house nakshatra lord's placement in the first house. If you are starting with the first house, what does that mean? The 7th house nakshatra lord's placement in the first house, which means this is a 7-7 placement from the first house or from itself. It is placed 7 houses away from itself. So level 1 is, what is the equation of the 7th house lord with the 7th house sign lord itself? So whichever is the 7th house nakshatra lord, what is the equation, what is the relationship it is establishing with the 7th house sign lord? So if the 7th house nakshatra lord is say Rahu, and if the 7th house sign lord is Venus, then what is the equation they are establishing in the horoscope? So how are they placed? Are they in kendra to each other? Are they in conjunction with each other, and so on? Second is, what is the 7th house nakshatra lord's equation or its placement vis-a-vis the first house lord? So if it's placed in the first house, what is the equation with the first house lord it is establishing? Is it in conjunction? Is it in aspect? Is it in a strong yoga or in a vish dosha, shapit dosha, whatever it is? What sort of a dignity it is in? So these two are very, very important. Is it in aspect? Because based on that, if it's a friendly planet, then a good conjunction will work out good results. If it's a tough conjunction, tough aspect on each other, like for example the aspect of Sun and Saturn on each other are not seen as very good. The aspect of Venus and Mars on each other are not so very good. The aspect of Mercury and Jupiter on each other are not so very good. So it should also be saying that what is the relationship they are establishing with each other, either in conjunction or in aspect. The third level is, which is the placement of the 7th house nakshatra lord going into the first house, in what dignity it is going. So first of all, what is the 7th house nakshatra lord? Here we are not talking about the sign lord. We have already talked about what is its equation with the 7th house sign lord, whether it's in conjunction, whether it's a friendly planet, and so on. So if it's friendly to the first house, because it's placed in the first house, so it's friendly to the first house sign lord, whichever is the first house sign, then it will get very good results. It will help through the marriage, through the union, good placement, good dignity in society, good stature, getting good direction in life, getting good health, being motivated, and so on, because it's in good dignity in the first house, because the 7th house nakshatra lord is friendly to the lord of the first house sign, whichever it is. Second that we talked about is, if it's in good dignity, good equation, good relationship with the 7th house sign lord itself, then too it will bring about a good result, because it's placed in the first house. First house stands for dignity, stature, standing in society, your pride, how society will see you, what will be your stature, so that will be help. But the third aspect or third attribute is the what is the 7th house nakshatra and which is its lord. If the nakshatra is a very positive nakshatra, like a Rohini, like a Anuradha, then they will bring more good results to gains to the person through the union, because here the 7th house is about the union, the partnership, the teamwork. But if it's a nakshatra which is like an Ashlesha or Vishakha, or a nakshatra which is not helpful to the Lagna nakshatra, then there is going to be issues, problems. The person may not be able to have a good stature in society, good standing in society, good dignity in society. So this is what it means. It's a very complex situation. It's not complex placement. It's not easy to decipher the meaning of the 7th house nakshatra lord. The fourth attribute is that which nakshatra is it going in? It is going in some nakshatra in the first house. Which nakshatra is it going in? Is that nakshatra helpful or not helpful to the lord of the nakshatra, 7th house nakshatra lord? Then it is good. So if the 7th house nakshatra lord is say Rahu, and it is going in the nakshatra of Chitra, say for example in the Lagna, or it's going in a nakshatra ruled by Venus, then it is obviously going to give you more ambition, and that energy is not easy to contend with. So those attributes also have to be seen. The other thing is that it is in a 7-7 placement from its own self. So the partnership becomes very important, the teamwork becomes very important, balance in the relationship is become very important to get very good results when the 7th house nakshatra lord goes into the first house. Now when the 7th house nakshatra lord goes into the second house, so now it has gone 8 places from itself. So this is a 8-6 placement, 8 places from the 7th house going into the second house, and 6 places from where the 6th house is from the 7th house. So it is called the 8-6 placement. Now when it goes into the second house is the house of income, communication, community, legacy, and your ability to attract better livelihood. So when the 7th house nakshatra lord goes into the second house, the first thing that you need to see is what is the equation with the second house lord itself. Is it in conjunction with the second house lord? Is it in aspect with the second house lord? Is it an inimical planet to the second house? Because if it's an inimical planet, then the 7th house nakshatra lord going into the second house will create issues, create problems, create challenges. Firstly, it is in the 8th house from itself, so upheavals, transformation, challenges will anyways come. And if it's in a tough placement in the second house, because the second house lord is not in friendly terms with the 7th house nakshatra lord, if it's Saturn and Sun for example, then obviously there are opposing energies, then there will be challenges through the union, through the marriage, through the partnership, through the teamwork, inability to be able to attract better income, to have more balance in the equation, because then the relationship will also go through a transformation just to get more income, or vice versa. Sometimes your income will go through a transformation challenges because you are trying to keep the home environment more peaceful, more stable. Sometimes a wife may have to give up a new offer, new job, because her husband doesn't want her to leave or go and work or go to a different place or work in a certain organization. He wants her to work close by, or he wants her to dedicate more time in the household, whatever the equation is. So if it's an inimical placement, then it becomes a kind of an obstruction which the 8th house energies bring to income, to livelihood and so forth. Then what is the equation of the 7th house lord, the nakshatra lord, with the 7th house sign lord? Is it in aspect? Is it in conjunction? So as I said, this is a complex position. The 7th house nakshatra lord is not an easy position to decipher. Hence you will not find many videos on the YouTube on this platform which talk about this placement. So then the 7th house sign lord's equation with the 7th house nakshatra lord, are they in equation, are they in conjunction, are they friendly to each other? That equation will also contribute to whether there is high income, whether there is high livelihood or not. The third part is, because the 7th house nakshatra lord has gone into the second house, which nakshatra it has gone into. So first of all, if the 7th house nakshatra itself is a very strong nakshatra, is a very auspicious nakshatra like a Punarvasu, then it will bring more value add, more income, higher income and more gains also. But if it's in a tougher nakshatra, for example in the 8th placement from itself, then Dhanishta may bring in challenges, then Purvashada may bring in slightly different challenges. It's not only about the nakshatra, but what is the equation of the nakshatra with the 8th house placement. that will also bring in its own energy. Then there may be challenges in the livelihood, in the income, in the communication between the spouse also. And the last part, because it's in an 8-6 placement, what it means is that the transformation will have to become, but the person in the relationship will have to contend with many behind the scenes enemies. Those forces who are trying to pull you down in income, trying to pull you down in livelihood, trying to pull you down in recognition, trying to pull you down in acknowledgement by the superiors. So this is not an easy placement, 8-6 placement. However, this requires a lot of hard work, this requires a lot of deeper understanding. If you understand the equation of the 7th house nakshatra lord with the second house sign lord and the 7th house sign lord also, and how it is plays out, and use that energy to good effect, then it can be very good. If you are able to manipulate that energy to be able to get lot of money, lot of good livelihood, lot of chances may also come by you. Now when the 7th house nakshatra lord goes into the 3rd house, this is a 9-5 placement from itself. 7th house lord going into the 3rd house, 9 from places from itself, and then the 3rd house is 5 places from the 7th house. So this is a 9-5 placement. It is supposed to be a good placement, but because the 7th house nakshatra lord is gone into the 3rd house, which means effort in communication is given, effort in trying to influence others is given. However, the first level that it works is, what is its equation with the 7th house sign lord itself. Here we are talking about the 7th house nakshatra lord. The 7th house nakshatra lord is different from the 7th house sign lord. So what is the equation of the 7th house nakshatra lord with the 7th house sign lord? Is it friendly to the sign lord, and is it in conjunction? Is it in mutual aspect? Is it in a good yoga? Is it in a good dosha? And so on. And say for example, one is Jupiter, 7th house nakshatra lord is Jupiter, and the 7th house sign lord is moon, for example, if it's Cancer sign. Then if they are in conjunction, then it becomes a Gachkesari yoga, it's a strong yoga, and it will obviously bring gains through the effort, because it's gone into the 3rd house of effort, but 9 houses away, gains coming in through effort, through the Gachkesari yoga being formed between the conjunction of the 7th house nakshatra lord and the 7th house sign lord. So then it will bring in very good results. So this 7th house nakshatra lord equation with the 3rd house lord is very important, because the 3rd house lord is about communication, it's about effort, it's about influencing each other, and they are inimical to each other. Then your communication will not bear fruits, your ability to influence others will not bear fruit, your ability to be able to market your services and products will not bear fruit, because it's not in good equation with the 3rd house sign lord. Then the next level it works at is what is the nakshatra of which it is the lord. So if the 7th house nakshatra is an auspicious nakshatra, then the efforts will bring in more fruits. Now auspicious from the number of places it goes away. So for example, 9 houses placement away from a so-called tough up nakshatra like Aslesha may be a good thing, but 9 houses away from a place, from the placement of, say for example, the nakshatra of Swati may be slightly challenging, because Rahu energies are involved, and the 9th house is the house of learning. Rahu doesn't want to spend effort in learning, it wants to be street smart. So then there is a different equation which comes into the picture. So the placement of the 7th house lord and nakshatra lord in the 9th house, what is the energy of the nakshatra, is very, very important, and which nakshatra it is going into, the 3rd house. So if this nakshatra, whichever is the 7th house nakshatra, if that nakshatra energy is positive and it goes into a friendly nakshatra, or goes into a nakshatra whose nakshatra lord is friendly, then the 3rd house of effort will bring you lots of money, lots of gains. You are able to establish good marketing, you are able to establish good influence on others, lots of gain comes in through your effort. And the best thing about this is you can do something on your own, you can really establish something on your own. And many people who started to do something on their own, and when the nakshatra energy, the 7th house sign energy, the 3rd house sign energy is all coming together, then nothing can stop this person to work on their own. Then when the 7th house nakshatra lord goes into the 4th house, now this is a 10-4 placement. Why 10-4? Because from the 7th house, the 4th house is 10 places away, and from the 7th house, the 4th house from the 7th house is 4 places away. So 10-4 places away from each other, it's a Kendra position from itself, so it's a good placement. However, the 10th placement is the placement of career, but it has gone into the 4th house of domestic life. So here it means through the 7th house, which is the house of partnership, relationship, So through the equation, your career may be helpful to gain assets which the 4th house brings. So you need to see a pattern. You should not see only a single placement. 7th house, partnership, conjugal relationship, marital relationship, teamwork. 10 houses away, career, work. In the 4th house, assets, money, stability, vehicles, the domestic life, satisfaction at home. All these 3-4 things coming together as a pattern. So always learn to see patterns. So when it goes, 7th house nakshatra lord goes into the 4th house, first we have to see what is the equation of the 7th house nakshatra lord with the 4th house sign lord, which is the sign of the 4th house, whichever it's the lord. Is it friendly planet to it? Is it in a good conjunction with it? Is it in an aspect with it? So what is the dynamic energy between the two is the first level. If they are well suited to each other, they are able to form a good yoga or Raj Yoga, because in the Kendra position, and if they are friendly, and obviously gains will come in. The level 2 is what is the equation of the 7th house nakshatra lord with the 7th house sign lord. Are they friendly? Are they in conjunction? Are they in mutual aspect? Are they in Kendra to each other? This is also seen, because then that dynamic will also come in. So this is not a easy placement. Understanding the 7th house nakshatra lord's placement in any house, number of things have to be seen together. It's a complex thing to understand. It's not easy to understand because many energies are at play, foundational energies are at play. So then the second attribute is the 7th house nakshatra lord's equation with the 7th house sign lord. First attribute is the 7th house nakshatra lord's equation with the 4th house lord. Then the third thing which comes in is what is the energy of the 7th house nakshatra. Which nakshatra is it? And going 10 houses away, career. So if it's a career oriented nakshatra, then it's a very, very good thing. For example, if it goes into Purva Falguni, a Venus nakshatra, which means if the 7th house nakshatra is the Venus nakshatra, Purva Falguni, going 10 houses away, but in the 4th house, Venus is the karak of the 4th house, then money is coming in, baby. Lot of assets will come in, vehicles will come in, lot of gains will come in. So this is a good placement. And then the next level is in which nakshatra is the 7th house nakshatra lord going. Is that nakshatra friendly nakshatra to this 7th house nakshatra lord? Is it a helpful, beneficial nakshatra? If it's placed together, is it a good conjunction or it becomes a Shrapet dosha? So for example, if the 7th house nakshatra lord is Rahu and the 4th house nakshatra or 4th house sign lord is Saturn, and they are placed together, then it forms the Shrapet dosha. Then peace, the tranquility at home, the domestic life gets affected. Even if it's a lot of money coming in, but the stability is getting affected. So you will find many times with such placements, money is coming in, house is good, but the relationship is not good. The stability at home is not good. The peace at home is not good. The relationship with the spouses is not good. So everything everybody doesn't get. So the equation, these 3-4 foundational energies are very, very important. That's why you will find with similar placements, two people may not have, or similar, two couples, different couples may not have the same relationship dynamics. And there the nitty-gritty, the finer aspects will tell you where the energies are differing from each other. Then the fourth level is, because it is in the 10-4 placement, it's a good overall energy, because career of each other, if they are helpful to each other, if the nakshatra lord energies are good, the equation with the 7th house sign lord with the 4th house sign lord are good, then the couple will help each other in their careers, support each other so that they can make a lot of assets. So overall it's pretty decent placement, the 7th house nakshatra lord in the 4th house. Now if the 7th house nakshatra lord goes into the 5th house, so yeah, the placement is 11-3 placement from each other. Why? 7th house lord is going 11 places from itself into the 5th house, and the 7th house is 3 houses away from the 5th house. So that's why it's a 11-3 placement. Now the 11th house is the house of wishes and desires. So this is overall a good placement, which means the 7th house nakshatra lord going into the 5th house of romance, of enterprise, of the stage, of presentation, of change in career. So through romance, through intimacy, through love and affection, and through support of the spouse, there may be good movement ahead in the career. The person may be sometimes positively pushed forward. The spouse may say, nothing doing, don't worry, go for a change, I will support you. So the person doesn't hesitate to make a change, to take risks in his career, because the spouse is a loving spouse, a supporting spouse, a caring spouse. Then the wishes and desires of both will come through. However, mind you, The 7th house is 3 houses away from the 5th house, which means still the couple will have to put in the effort to keep the relationship strong, to keep the romance going, to keep the intimacy going. Sometimes they may be so much sucked up in the ambition that they may forget that the relationship also requires love, affection, time for each other, the intimate moments, the romance also. Then what is the equation of the 7th house nakshatra lord with the 5th house sign lord is very important. Are they in conjunction with each other? Are they in mutual aspect with each other? What is the dynamic with each other? Do they form a good yoga, Raj Yoga, or a Jagat Sesri Yoga, or Chandramangal Yoga, or they form a tougher dosha like the Shrapit dosha, or the Vish dosha, or the Angarka dosha? Those things also have to be seen to see actual what is the result coming in. Then the equation of the 7th house nakshatra lord with the 7th house sign lord is important. Is it a friendly equation with each other? Are they in conjunction? Are they in mutual aspect? So the 7th house nakshatra lord's placement is a very complex situation. It's not easy to understand, it's not easy to comprehend. So that's why a number of factors have to be seen before you can decipher correctly the 7th house nakshatra lord's placement. Then which nakshatra is the 7th house nakshatra lord owning? So is it the nakshatra which is a nakshatra of valor, risk taking like Chitra or Dhanishta ruled by Mars, or is it a more docile nakshatra like Hasta or a docile nakshatra like Rohini? Then the efforts may come in, the prosperity may come in, but the person may not be able to put that much of the killer instinct energy to be able to make gain. So which is the nakshatra with the 7th house nakshatra lord rules is also important. Then which nakshatra is it going in? That is also important. This is the nakshatra that it is going in. Friendly, is it a helpful nakshatra? Then the relationship will be able to make gains. But if it's not a friendly nakshatra, then what will happen? In spite of help, support, care for each other, making this, taking risks, yet the relationship may not be able to get that many gains. That many wishes and desires may not be fulfilled, even in spite of putting in the effort because of the 11th replacement. So overall, it's still a decent placement, but the nitty-gritty, the finer aspects of the energies have to be understood. Now, if the 7th house nakshatra lord goes into the 6th house in the horoscope, now this is a tricky placement because now it has gone 12 houses away from itself. So this is the 12-2 placement. The 7th house nakshatra lord has gone 12 places from itself, from the 7th house, and the 7th house is 2 places away from the 6th house, the 12-2 placement. 12 houses away when the planet goes, then it surely brings it in own share of challenges, problems, losses, and sometimes heavy expenses also. Sometimes there are bigger challenges which are acting behind the back which you are not able to understand. So this is a tough placement. Now on the level 1, what is the equation of the 7th house lord, nakshatra lord, with the 6th house sign lord? Now the 6th house nakshatra lord, 6th house sign lord, 7th house nakshatra lord's equation with the 6th house sign lord. Are they friendly with each other? Are they in conjunction with each other? Are they in mutual aspect with each other? Do they form a Raj Yoga if they are together? Suppose one is Jupiter, one is Moon, then they are forming a Gaj Kesari Yoga. One is Mars, one is Moon, then it's a Chandramangal Yoga. But if it's Moon and Saturn, which dosha? Rahu and Saturn, then Shrapit dosha. So you have to see that if they come together, if the energies come together, is it a more tough energy to contend with? So that equation will also come into the picture, and how they are placed from each other. Then what is the equation of the 7th house nakshatra lord with the 7th house sign lord? Are they friendly to each other? Are they in mutual aspect? Are they in conjunction? So this is not an easy energy to understand the 7th house nakshatra lord's placement in any house, because a number of factors come into the picture. It's difficult to decipher this energy. So that will also be important. So if it's positively placed, if the 7th house nakshatra is a good auspicious nakshatra, then in spite of going into the 6th house, the couple, the teamwork, the union may be able to overcome all the challenges, all the issues, outside issues, and yet be able to make assets, yet be able to make money. Why money? It's a 12-2 placement. 7th house is placed, 2nd house from the 6th house. So they will be able to overcome competition, able to overcome losses, able to overcome any external energies, external forces, and then be able to make gains. However, the nakshatra in which the 7th house nakshatra lord is going into the 6th house, that nakshatra energy is also very important. So if that nakshatra sign of the whichever the nakshatra energy, that nakshatra lord is not friendly with the 7th house nakshatra lord, then obviously this is yin and yang energy or opposing energy. Then you will have to work harder to be able to make money, to be able to make livelihood. So those equations will also come into the picture. Now if the 7th house nakshatra lord is in the 7th house itself, so yeah, it is very strongly placed in the same house, same sign in which the nakshatra is. However, it may still not be placed in its own nakshatra. It may be placed in the adjoining nakshatra, though it's in the 7th house. So that will also be important. So first, what is the equation of the 7th house nakshatra lord with the 7th house sign lord, whichever is the sign which it is placed. So for example, if you are talking about a Libra ascendant, then the 7th house will be the Aries sign. If the 7th house degree is 3 degrees, because the Libra ascendant is at 3 degrees and the 7th house sign is Aries at 3 degrees, then it is obviously the 7th house nakshatra is Ashwini, ruled by Ketu, and the sign lord is Mars. Now Ketu and Mars have good equation with each other. Then it's a very friendly equation with each other, because Ketu, it is said Rahu is like Saturn and Ketu is like Mars. And are they in conjunct with each other? Are they in mutual aspect with each other? Are they in Kendra to each other? Those energies will also come in. However, if the conjunction is very close, Ketu and Mars, then a lot of Mars energy is lost. So that also has to be seen. So it's a, if it's 7, 8, 9, 10 degrees separation between Ketu and Mars, even if Mars is in another house, then it's still a friendly energy. The degree difference will bring in a positive energy. The next is, what is the equation, which is the nakshatra energy of the 7th house nakshatra? Here we are talking about Ashwini being the 7th house nakshatra. If it's Bharani and if it's in the 7th house, then a lot of money equation also comes in through the marriage, through the union, through the teamwork, through working with people, through working with partners, through working with different people who come into your life from time to time. So money, materialistic approach, materialistic results may also come in. Now the third level is which nakshatra it is placed. If the 7th house nakshatra lord is placed in its own nakshatra, very friendly placement, it's very comfortable. But if it goes into an adjoining nakshatra which it is not friendly with, say for example 7th house nakshatra is Ashwini, lord being Ketu, and goes a few degrees away, goes into Kritika, ruled by Sun. Now it's in a tougher placement, though it's in the same house, 7th house itself, 7th house sign itself. So here that will also have to be seen, because that nakshatra energy will also come into the equation. Now because it is in a 1-1 placement, it's very strong. So the teamwork, how the couple works, how there is better equation with each other, all will bring in very good gains, most comfortable placement. But here many times the person looks inwards, sometimes becomes a little greedy, is not able to look at the outside world. The couple will look at what do we want, how do we want to do well. They may not look so much at friends. They will have some equation, some social network and all, but they will mostly be inward looking, especially if both the couples 7th house nakshatra lord are in similar position. Then they may become too inward looking, too self-absorbed. So there you will have to be a little careful. Otherwise, overall this is one of the best placement when the 7th house nakshatra lord goes into the 7th house itself. Now if the 7th house nakshatra lord goes into the 8th house, so now this is a 2-12 placement, because the 7th house has gone 2nd house from itself, but the 7th house is 12 houses away from the 8th house. So now one of the attributes is 7th house going into the 8th house, the house of transformation, challenges, issues, hidden energies, that will come into the picture. But what is the 7th house nakshatra lord going into the 8th house? What is the energy equation with the 8th house sign lord? 7th house nakshatra lord, mind you, are not talking about 7th house sign lord, I'm talking about 7th house nakshatra lord equation with the 8th house sign lord. What is the equation? Are they friendly? Do they form a good Raj Yoga, or do they form a Vish dosha? Are they in mutual aspect? Are they in conjunction? So what is the equation? What is the dynamic they have with each other? Because this is a tougher placement. Understanding the 7th house nakshatra lord in any house, a number of factors have to be seen. It's not easy to decipher this energy. So when it goes into the 8th house, the turbulation, the transformation, the challenges, the issues will come in through the union. However, if the placement is in a friendly sign, in the friendly house, in the 8th house is not friendly, but if the sign is friendly, the sign lord is friendly with the nakshatra lord, then it is a more comfortable placement, which means gains. Why gains? Because it is the 2nd house from itself. Though it is 12, 8 houses, 7 houses, 12 from the 8th house, that is 2nd house. So income may come in after transformation, after relooking at the situation, after working, after contending with the energy and the transformation and the issues and the emergence of the 8th house. So here the couple, the person, through the union may be able to come out on top after going through a transformation, after going through a change, after being able to understand the deeper meaning of that. Then which is the nakshatra in which the 7th house nakshatra lord is going into the 8th house. So first the equation with the sign lord is important, then which nakshatra it is going in is very important. If the nakshatra is friendly to the nakshatra lord, then the gains will come in. Then the 7th house nakshatra energies will also play. What is the 7th house nakshatra? Is it a more dynamic nakshatra where the energies, it will be able to contend with the energies of the 8th house? For example, if the 7th house nakshatra is Aslesha going into the 8th house, then it will be able to contend with the energies of the 8th house. If it's Vishaka ruled by Jupiter, then it will still be able to contend with the energies of the 8th house. But if it's Rohini ruled by Moon going into the 8th house, then it's slightly difficult position with this, because the nakshatra is a more docile nakshatra and may not be able to take in the energy, absorb the energies of the 8th house as well as the Aslesha or a Vishaka nakshatra or even a Chitra or a Dhanishta nakshatra will be able to contend. So what is the nakshatra of the 7th house, and then which nakshatra it is going into the 8th house, all will come into the picture. However, still 2nd house away from itself, money is coming in, but 12 houses away from itself, foreign lands, going to foreign places may also coming in. But if the equation is not good, then losses, high expenses may also come into the picture. Now if the 7th house lord, nakshatra lord, is going into the 9th house, so it is going 3 houses away from itself, the 7th house nakshatra lord going into the 9th house. So this is the 3 and 11 placement, because the 9th house is 3 houses away from the 7th house, but the 7th house is 11 houses away from the 9th house. So this is overall a decent placement. However, the 7th house nakshatra lord going into the 9th house 3 places from itself, which means through effort in learning, in understanding the experiences in life, understanding the situations in life, through the learning and then making gains, because it is the 9th house of gains. And because the 7th house is 11 houses away from the 9th house, so wishes and desires being coming true, because the person is willing to learn from the situation, from the experiences, from the downfall, from whatever they are facing in life, and through the learning, through the experiences, using the learning and then making gains is this placement. However, one of the levels that it works in is the 7th house nakshatra lord going into the 9th house. What is the equation with the 9th house sign lord? Here 7th house nakshatra lord's equation with this 9th house sign lord is important. Are they friendly to each other? Are they inimical to each other? Are they in mutual aspect with each other? Are they in mutual conjunction or conjunction with each other? Because the sign or the dynamics of the 7th house nakshatra lord is not easy to understand, because many factors play, and that's why this is a slightly complex position. So in the 9th house, which is the sign lord, which the 9th house has, and what is the equation of the 7th house nakshatra lord with it, and it's in mutual conjunction or whatever. And then what is the equation of the 7th house nakshatra lord with the 7th house sign lord itself? Are they conjunct with each other? Is the 7th house nakshatra lord and the 7th house sign lord both in the 9th house, are in conjunction, are in mutual aspect, are they friendly to each other? Then what is the energy of the 7th house nakshatra itself? Because it is going into the 9th house of learning, then is it a learning oriented nakshatra which the 7th house nakshatra is? If the 7th house nakshatra is Swati, for example, it's Satabhisha itself is Ashwini, then going into the 9th house will bring in a lot of positive energy. The person will learn, be willing to burn the midnight oil to learn from the experiences and do very well. So then those nakshatras which can go 3 houses away, put in the effort and are ready to learn, are learning nakshatras will be very good, will be able to make gains. And the couple, because you have the 7th house energies of teamwork, partnership, being in the relationship are coming, then through helping each other, supporting each other, the gains will come in if they are willing to learn. And then the next part is, what is the 7th house nakshatra lord going into, which nakshatra it is going into the 9th house. First of all, we talked about the sign lord, 7th house nakshatra lord's equation with this 9th house sign lord. It's a complex situation, we said, but which nakshatra it is going? Is it a friendly nakshatra it is going in? Because it is going in some nakshatra, that will also come into the picture. So overall it's still a gain making placement, but the nitty-gritties of the equation with the 7th house sign lord, 9th house sign lord, which nakshatra is the 7th house nakshatra, which nakshatra it is going, All these have to be looked in to be able to make the maximum gains out of the 7th house going into the 9th house. Now when the 7th house nakshatra lord goes into the 10th house, which means the 7th house nakshatra lord is going 4 places from itself. But this is the 410 placement. Why? It going 4 places from itself, but the 10th house, from the 10th house, the 7th house is 10 houses away. So the 7th house nakshatra lord is going 4 places from itself, but the 10th house is 10 places away from the 7th house. So overall, there is energy and dynamic through be able to make a lot of assets through career, through work, through teamwork, through partnership. So overall, this is a good placement. The 7th house lord going into a house which is kendra to itself, because it's a 410 placement. So career, assets, home environment, satisfaction, domestic, all come into the picture. However, the level 1 that it works in, 7th lord nakshatra lord is going into the 10th house, in which sign? That is important. Is it a friendly sign to the 7th house nakshatra lord? So if the sign lord, if the nakshatra lord, 7th house nakshatra lord is, say for example, Mars going into Cancer sign in the 10th house, obviously it's in debilitation, so that there's a challenge. So what is the equation with this 10th house sign lord? Is it in conjunction? Is it in mutual aspect? Does it form a Raj Yoga? Does it form a Vish dosha or a bad dosha? All come into the picture, because the 7th house nakshatra lord's placement is a complex placement. It's not easy to understand. It is not as easy as 7th house lord placed in different houses. This is 7th house nakshatra lord, because there you also have to see where is the 7th house sign lord going, and you have to also see what is the equation of the 7th house nakshatra lord with the 7th house sign lord. Are they in conjunction? Are they in mutual aspect? Do they form a Raj Yoga? Are they in mutual, are they in a, do they form a Vish dosha? What is the energy they bring in? Then what is the nakshatra, 7th house nakshatra itself? If the 7th house nakshatra here is Shravana or Rohini ruled by moon and then going 4 houses away, excellent placement, because the 4 houses from any house has the Cancer sign energies. Even if the 10th house is not sign a Cancer sign, but it is a Cancer sign energies 4 houses away. And if it's the Shravana nakshatra ruled by moon, it's the Rohini nakshatra ruled by moon and then going into 4 houses away, fantastic. Moon going 4 houses from itself into the 10th house. So through creativity, through innovation, career being useful, being helped, and the couple, because it's about teamwork, 7th house is about teamwork, partnership, conjugal relationship, marital relationship. The person may even meet a spouse at work, or spouse may be helpful in work, or spouse may be caring enough that this person is able to dedicate his time to work through his innovation, through her creativity, and then be able to make assets. And the career is also helped. Overall, it's a pretty good placement. Then what is the energy of the 7th house nakshatra lord? We talked about Shravana, Rohini, whatever it is, but which nakshatra is it going into? So if that nakshatra which it is going into, that nakshatra is also good nakshatra, helpful nakshatra, 7th house nakshatra lord is friendly with the nakshatra lord of the 10th house, then it can be make even better gains, even better career, even better growth, even better recognition, even better appreciation from superiors, from higher up. So overall, it's a pretty good placement. Career is being helped, assets are being helped, but the 7th house nakshatra energy is very important. Now if the 7th house nakshatra lord goes into the 11th house, so the 11th house is 5 houses away from the 7th house. So this is the 5-9 placement. Why? Because the 11th house is 5 houses away from the 7th house, but the 7th house is 9 houses away from the 11th houses, 7th house is 9 houses away from the 11th house. So this is the 5-9 placement. So overall, this is a gain making placement. But going into the 11th house means wishes and desires may come true through social network, through establishing a strong connect with the masses, working in organizations where the masses are helped, where the social causes help. So because the 7th house energy is partnership, teamwork, marital relationship, so the couple will do very well in society by establishing strong network and making gains, which because it is 5 houses away. The children of this couple may also do very well. The children may also be helpful to the couple or to the parents, and vice versa. And through the effort, through the gain, through the education, through the higher learning, they may be able to make gains. The wishes and desires of 11th house may also come true. However, it's important to understand the level 1. The 7th house nakshatra lord going into the 11th house, then what is the equation it has with the 11th house sign lord, the 7th house nakshatra lord going into the 11th house in the sign. So what is the equation with the 7th house sign lord? Is it friendly to it? Is it in mutual conjunction? Is it in conjunction? Is it in mutual aspect? Does it form a yoga with it? Raja Yoga with it? Does it form a dosha with it? All of this is important, because 7th house nakshatra lord understanding is not easy. It's very complex energy. It is difficult to decipher. So you have to look at a number of facets to be able to understand it well. That's why it's not easy to be able to understand sometimes astrological placement if you're looking at only surface, if you're not looking at overall pattern what the astrological placements are establishing. So overall this is a good placement, fine and placement, making gain through learning, making gain through education, making gain through societal network, wishes and desires coming true. However, if the 7th house nakshatra energies, the nakshatra itself is not a very prosperity oriented nakshatra, it is a difficulty oriented nakshatra. If it's Ashwini or Mula ruled by Ketu, now going into the houses of wishes and desires, Ketu has nothing to do with wishes and desires. It runs away from fulfilling of wishes and desires. Then the person has to put in extra effort to fulfill their wishes and desires, because the 7th house nakshatra energies itself are not very helpful, not very desirous, not very materialistic. So sometimes this person will also have to work hard on the relationship. Sometimes the societal standing may come in, dignity may come in, network may come in, wishes and desires may come in, money may come in, gains may come in, but the relationship may suffer. So these equations also have to be seen. Then the other thing, where is the 7th house nakshatra lord going, in which nakshatra it is going into the 11th house? It is going into a certain sign. So the sign lord's equation with the 7th house nakshatra lord is important. But which nakshatra is this nakshatra lord going is also important. So if Ketu is going into another nakshatra, say for example it is going into a nakshatra of Rahu, going into the nakshatra ruled by moon, then obviously these are not easy energies to contend with. These are yin and yang energies, opposing energies. Ketu is detachment, moon is attachment. Then those energies will also have to be deciphered. So overall still it's a fine placement, overall gain making position. If the couple are ready to learn from each other, understand each other, work with each other, then the nakshatra energies can also be overcome with their dedication, with their love and their affection. Because the 5th house energies of romance, intimacy and working closely with each other also coming in. Now if the 7th house nakshatra lord is going into the 12th house in your horoscope, so now this is a 6-8 placement, because the 7th house nakshatra lord is gone into the 6th house from itself, and then the 12th house is from the 12th house, the 7th house is 8 houses away. So that's why this is a 6-8 placement. So on the surface this is a difficult placement, because the 7th house nakshatra lord is gone 6 houses away from itself. But what it also means is that the couple or the person in the union, in the marriage, in the team, in the partnership may have to overcome competition and then make gains in MNCs, in foreign line, in isolated jobs, working alone, in armed services, in hospitals and clinics. You may find your spouse in foreign land, you may find your spouse working in individual capacity, individual roles in your career, or coming from the armed forces, coming from working in NGOs, in charity organizations, or even coming in from far distance land from where you are. And to make gains along with the spouse, along with the couple, you may have to contend with external forces then to make gains. But there will be some transformation which will surely come in the relationship. Many times the first relationship of such people fails. I'm not talking about a marriage. Can be a girlfriend, boyfriend going along with 3, 4, 5 years and it breaks, and then you get into a relationship with somebody else. So generally most of the time the first relationship almost always fails, especially if the 7th house nakshatra lord is not in a good sign in the 12th house. They don't have a good equation with each other. So if the 7th house nakshatra lord is not in a friendly sign, goes into an inimical sign because the sign lord is not friendly with it, then it's a challenging placement. So the 7th house nakshatra lord placement in any house is a very complex energy. It's not easy to understand. It is difficult to decipher. So you have to look at a number of factors to be able to understand it very well. So if it's not in a friendly sign in the 12th house, then it can be a challenging placement, because firstly it has gone into the 6th house from itself. Transformation challenges may come in. The next level is, what is the equation of the 7th house nakshatra lord with the 7th house sign lord itself? Are they in conjunction? Are they friendly with each other? Are they in mutual aspect with each other? What are the energies they share? Do they form a Raj Yoga if they come together? Do they form a Vish dosha or a Shape dosha or Angarka dosha or Tough dosha if they come with each other together? then this is also has to be seen, because that will also come into the equation, that will also come into the partnership, that will also come into the teamwork, that will also come into the union between the two people. So which is the equation with the 7th house sign lord of the 7th house nakshatra lord, apart from the equation with the 12th house sign lord. That is important. Then what is the energy of the 7th house nakshatra itself? Is it a helpful nakshatra? Now see, because it goes 6 houses away from itself, it's a moksha energies. So moksha nakshatra does much better, 7th house nakshatra lord going into the 12th house, rather than a materialistic nakshatra. So for example, if it's Punarvasu, Anuradha, Rohini, and then goes into the 12th house, 6 houses away from itself, then it is slightly tough energy to establish. But if it's the energy of Jyeshtha, for example, and Aslesha or Vishaka, or even Ardra ruled by Rahu, or even Magha ruled by Ketu, and going 6 houses away from itself, then it's still an important energy. The malefic will be able to overcome the losses, the issues, the challenges, the transformations, turbulations onto 12th house and still do very well. So this can be a good placement. The 7th house nakshatra has more tougher energies, is a tougher nakshatra going into the 12th house. Many times these people do very, very well in foreign lands and multinational companies, overcome challenges, issues, and through transformation and change will bring gains to each other, help each other, and be able to do very good in life. So friends, now that we have seen how the placement of the 7th house nakshatra lord in different houses will bring about their own unique combination, unique placement, unique dynamics, please do understand in which nakshatra your 7th house nakshatra lord is going, which house it is, which sign it is, what forms of conjunctions or aspect it is establishing with others, what nakshatra it is going, and be able to understand at a deeper foundation level what the meaning is, so that you are able to make the best use of it on the individual level, and also in your partnership, in your teamwork, and in your married life, in your union also. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you are looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me, the link given below. Until some other time, with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.